doesn't want to start a video. Hi. So we haven't seen each other in a long time. And that's because honestly, the types of videos that I would like to do for YouTube take up more space and time in my brain that I had to offer these last months. But I just wanted to update you on my life a little bit. I don't know why really, but yeah. Also, this is where I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting in, what is it, a hammock? In my garden. So when I say in my garden, I mean like it's an allotment, I think it's called in English, like where you rent a garden space. This is not like in front of my house or anything. I'm surrounded by plenty of other people's gardens as well. It's 9 a.m. on Saturday and I'm just sitting here, not really doing work. I've adjusted my tomatoes a little bit because there's something going on there. Yesterday we tried to lift them up. Anyways, that's another story. They were hanging on the ground and starting to have trouble, but at the same time, because they were growing on the floor, almost I didn't want to like push them up too far and break the stem. Anyway, so today I'm just here mainly to just spend some garden time because, as you can tell, it's good for mental health. What else? Oh yeah, I'm also trying to figure out what to do with our roof. So there's this little house thing, right? So a house. What's the word for a small house? And mainly there's the tools in there and just some stuff that you need, like plates and books and just a variety of things, and clothes and our garden shoes and whatever. And unfortunately, the roof contains asbestos. I don't know. Because these things were built quite some time ago. And we're trying to figure out how to get rid of that roof. Obviously, we don't want to do it ourselves because that's just dangerous. And we're not experts in this. So, like, when I say we, I mean mainly me and my father. It is my garden, like, officially. But he does so much work here. He does most work here, and I'm very grateful. Anyway, so we're trying to figure that out, and it's one of those things where nobody really feels responsible for it, and or knows who will be the person or party to ask. Like, obviously asbestos is a thing and people need to remove it from their houses and stuff, but if it's just like a garden house thing, I don't know, it hasn't been easy. And I guess it's not the worst because it's outside and we're not touching it. Obviously we're not drilling anything in it, like we're not trying to break anything away from it so that the fumes or whatever you would call them, the dust, like the asbestos dust, would actually be set free and in the air. But even if some got in the air, it's like outside, so I guess it's less urgent than it could be, but still, it feels a little uncomfortable to have asbestos in your roof. And also, we do want to and kind of have to eventually redo the outside of the house because the paint is old and part of the wood it's chipping off, blah blah. I don't know if you can tell, but it just, yeah. And we cannot do that when we can't touch the roof. So we need to get this roof thing done. It's also a question of finances and just like because so you rent the garden part, but you buy the house thing because you also take over the tools and stuff from your predecessor. So technically it's my house. I don't know what to call those, like little, I don't know, fill in the appropriate word for that. So we don't know like whose responsibility it is to do the work to replace the roof, find a new roof, pay for all of this. I'm obviously very willing to pay, what needs to be paid for it to get done. I know that it's something that really bothers my dad, and I guess that's the main reason I want it done. I feel like I have a different relationship to all of this because he actually just lost someone because of stuff that had to do with asbestos. So I get it, and also it's just we can't continue with lots of things we want to do here. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. As I said, you talk to so many different people and everybody says something else. It's not easy. I don't know. It's like, it's not easy, and I'm lying down in my hammock on my pillow, so you know, it's okay. It's not COVID, I promise. I took a test. It's allergies. Ouch, what am I sitting on? Hold on. Oh, my ginger shot. Hold on. What a good angle. But it's the only freehand angle I have right now. It's actually not. What is it? Curcuma with ginger. So I will be healthy in no time. Surely one shot a week is enough, right? To make up for everything. That's not spicy enough. If it doesn't hurt, it's not healthy enough for me right now. I need the actual boost, you know. I need to feel the fire. Do you love miniature things of stuff? It's like I love mini versions of things. I got this mini bottle with the mini whatever. So when it comes to YouTube, it's something actually I think about YouTube a lot in my life. Like about producing YouTube content, not just consuming it, because that I'm doing all the time. But as I've said, it takes up more than I wanted to, but at the same time, like I don't really use another social media right now other than Twitter, but that is not really something that I'm not tweeting. I'm again just consuming, and I feel like I do miss sharing some stuff, and I try to get to the bottom of that. Like, why is it? Well, I don't know. Okay, thoughts. Hold on. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is maybe an option would be to, instead of trying to film all these ideas that I have that are like, you know, not these vlog types videos, but I want to do stuff about language and especially etymology, which I hear people find really boring. I don't care. I love it. I think it's so fun. Especially love a lot of connections that I found between German, Dutch and English, which I mean makes sense, whatever. But and just ADHD stuff I want to talk about, and you know, body image, mental health. There's so much things I would like to share and like have a discussion with people on here, but they require, that's what I like. I do think that they require more work of me, editing, thinking, preparing, maybe scripting. I don't know, because I don't just want to ramble. I know how it is when you have to speed up a video. But then, you know, doing this, like where I just talk, and I also like to watch these kind of vlogs, so I don't know. And I know if I do it like with this on the phone, and I could also publish it from the phone, and that would, you know, make it easier, because when there's several steps involved, the chances of me not doing it or not finishing it, I should say, because I got a couple started, or like videos I started editing, and then, you know, you forget about it for a month, and then you come back to that video and you're like, wow, that is so 2008. And then you have to see yourself again and again, and it's like, ugh, whatever, like, why? So if I could just add them together on the phone, and then if that's, I mean, I'm sure it's possible, I know people do it, then, you know, maybe I would have less of a hurdle to actually upload videos. Why am I showing you me and not this, you know? It's not as colorful as we wanted it to be. There's a couple of things that just didn't show up, even though we put seeds in, but like that's what it is, right? You never know. Each year is a bit different. Not a bit, it's actually quite different. Same with the apple trees and the pears. You never know who's gonna carry fruit this year or not, which is a thing, but still interesting. Yeah, last year was bad because we had like a couple weeks where it was raining a lot, if you remember, and whenever you put something in the ground, it was just like brought back up by all the water, or it just started going bad essentially in the soil before it was able to hatch. That's not the word. So that's better this year, but still some stuff didn't show up. Like I'm talking flowers and things. veggies are going really well. I planted gherkin, cucumber, what's the word? I don't know. For the first time, and it's really fun how cucumbery they smell, you know? Anyways, okay. I think that's all I had to say for now. Just gonna sit here and contemplate life a bit more. I brought out some documents and I forget what for. Oh, there was stuff. Okay, never mind. It was filming this. Actually, there's one update, and that's really nice. So I passed this programming exam that I had to pass this semester. I took it for the second time. The first time I was really overwhelmed by the content of the class. I did not expect it to be this hard and this labor intensive. And you know, when the exam came around, I realized that I did not have enough time to prepare, you know, the way it was necessary for this exam, because I had other modules that I had booked, like other classes, and therefore other exams, and I work over 70%, right? So last year I decided to not go through with it with the exam because I wasn't gonna pass anyways. So I'd rather, you know, not go through that for no reason, and I stand by that. I would not have passed. But that meant I had a fail under my belt. Hey there. Concerning this module, and I'm only allowed to have, or we're only allowed to have one second time. You will be out of these studies, and not just for your university, but in the entirety of Switzerland, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm scary. So I knew that this time I had to pass. I only took this class this time for that reason. So next to work, I didn't have any other classes. So I was able to just focus on that. But still, it was a lot, like just the amount of work, the exercises took that we had to do during the semester, blah, blah. And it's just, you know, it's officially it's like the second semester of programming. And it's jump from the first semester where you get to know, like, oh, this is a variable and that's a function, to then in the second semester, you know, object-oriented programming, dynamic programming, algorithms. It's like, it's a bit much, and I've said that in the evaluation or whatever. So, but yeah, this time I prepared. I really gave my best. It was a 24-hour exam, so we got like 3 big programming tasks with subtasks, and we had 24 hours to solve them to the best of our ability. And I did, and I had a really good grade actually, and I'm really proud and excited and glad that I can continue to study, because that would have been a fucking mess. It's not funny. But anyways, that's a good update. And I'm always reminded, and see, that's another thing why, you know, YouTube is actually nice, because you know how, well, I don't know if you do, but I actually do make videos of myself quite often, or of just things I want to store, because my memory is not the best, or, you know, I tend to forget how I felt about things. It's an ADHD thing. You look it up. No, but really, if you have ADHD, it's a thing. It's why we cannot stick well to habits or change habits that, you know, we can't stick well to new habits, and we have a hard time changing or getting rid of habits that we do have. Anyways, see, that's not the video I could do. Anyways, what I wanted to say was, remember how I made that video, and it must have been at this point like a year and a couple months ago, where I was struggling very hard to read through a website that was a tutorial on something that we had to use for an exercise. I think it was an LXML tutorial. So something that we needed to use for one of the exercising of that exact programming class, but last year. And I was struggling so bad. Sorry. I was struggling so bad because the site, just the way it was set up, was not readable to me, blah, blah. And you know, having that on YouTube, I'm reminded of how I struggled and how I now did this. And so I don't know, it's really nice. So maybe I need to look at YouTube less of something that I do for others to create content and, you know, distract. Because the reason I watch YouTube this much is honestly because I like to distract myself from, you know, stuff that's going on either in my life or in the world. And so, you know how you like to just escape a little, and I would like to also offer that for other people as well. But then maybe I you know, maybe that's the wrong way of going about it. Maybe I should do it just like this, basically for me, and if nobody ever watches it, then that's fine, because it's for me. And, you know, so, because who knows where I'm gonna be in a year in terms of, like, for example, programming, and then I can look back and be like, oh my god, that was so nice, you know. Anyway, so I passed the exam. Thank you very much. It was a lot of work, and I'm very proud. This bird, where are you? Where are you? This bird just flew by next to me. I was so shocked. Like, he was so close. Where? Girl, I'm gonna find it. Hold on. It's a woodpecker. That flew by just like, it flew by like this, next to my face. I was like, what's going on? Is it gone? Whew, there was this bird. Like, I was lying down there, and it just flew by me, quite close. It was quite huge. Not one of these small, you know, itty bitty birds. I mean, not a crow or anything. It was colorful. It was green. I'm like, wow, who is she? But also, excuse me. Then it ended up on this tree, but can't see it anymore. Is it gone? Probably. I just googled woodpecker, and I think it was woodpecker, and it was green.